Good afternoon. We'll call to order the public safety meeting for Thursday, May 2nd, 2024. We'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, thank you for all attending today. Starting off, any agenda additions or changes?
No, sir.
Seeing, okay, moved by Commissioner Drosha, support by Commissioner Toomey. All those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Agenda approved. Approval of April 4th, 2024 minutes. Moved by Commissioner Drosha. All right, thank you, Frank. Supported, and all those in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? All right, minutes approved. We'll start out with our first limited public comment. Seeing none, there will be opportunity at the end for such. Next, Sheriff's Office update.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. April highlights. April 4th, deputies respond to a report of an attempt auto thefts at the GM plant, the new storage lot. 4 suspects broke into the car lot and attempted to steal Chevrolet Camaros. One of them crashed and was arrested. April 6th, we assisted Eaton Rapids Police Department at 750 Island Court on a complaint of a fight in progress. When the Eaton Rapids police officer arrived, he reported that a male was running away with a backpack and he believed that this individual had a gun in his bag. The male dumped the bag and possibly the gun. We located the male and the backpack. He had lots of ammo in the backpack and a knife, but he did not locate a gun. April 11th, responded to Dow and Eaton Highway on a report of a personal injury accident. The driver fled the scene from the crash. Deputy Turner and his K-9 partner Tank responded and were able to locate the driver. He was transported to the hospital with injuries from the crash. He was also believed to be intoxicated. We responded to Lawrence and Ionia for another personal injury accident. The driver fled from after crashing his car. We were able to call him and get him to come out of his hiding. The driver was arrested and lodged for driving while intoxicated. Alcohol will get you in trouble, especially when you're driving. April 12th, the Michigan Department of Corrections fugitive team was tracking down a wanted felon when they were involved in a shooting with him in the area of Barton and Blackberry in Delta Township. We assisted for several hours. The wanted felon was later arrested in another county. It's the same kind of situation. This was a car that were both following, but we had 4 officers get killed in Charlotte, North Carolina, just the other day because of the same type of situation. April 23rd, missing juvenile. Monroe County called us regarding a juvenile. He was located near Calamo and Cochran. He was riding his bike from Monroe to Grand Rapids to meet a girl. That's a lot of pedaling. Deputies assisted Eaton Rapids Police Department with a female who had driven her car into the river. She was intoxicated, there's that alcohol again, and was arrested and lodged by Eaton Rapids Police Department. April 25th, deputies were dispatched to a larceny from a building at Cottage Inn Pizza in Delta Township. A heavy-set black male wearing a dark blue or black hooded sweatshirt entered the store while employees were in the back area. The suspect ripped the cash register out and stole the money from it before fleeing on foot. A K-9 track to locate the suspect was unsuccessful. Usually what happens, they either have a ride or just down the short distance from the location where they just stole money from. April 27th, deputies responded to a report of child abuse at the all-day food store in Delta. There were multiple calls from citizens to 911 reporting a female was assaulting her 11-year-old son. She still had him in a chokehold when deputies arrived. She had also pulled out some of his hair and bit him on the hand. She was arrested and lodged in our jail. The boy and his sister were turned over to their grandmother. And that concludes the April highlights.
Thank you, Sheriff. Any questions for Tom? All right.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
All right, moving on. Resolution to approve Waverly School Resource Officer Agreement.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. I'm Tony Terranova. I'm principal of Waverly High School, and I'm here on behalf of the school district. Would really like to encourage you to ratify this agreement. We've had our school resource officer, Deputy Hansberger, for about the last year and a half, almost 2 years now, and he has been a complete blessing for our district. He has been able to assist our administrative team in the physical safety of our school buildings, athletic events, overall campus security. He's been a really strong advocate and a resource for helping us develop procedures that lead to safer schools and a safer environment for our students. It's nice as a building principal. You know, I wasn't trained in law enforcement or security. As my career has evolved, that has become a very important task of my job, and it's always nice to have an expert a part of our team. But one of the main reasons I believe this has been a success at our school is because of the relationships that Deputy Hansberger has been able to have with our students. He has a positive impact in our hallways every day. Sometimes we have to remind students that, hey, you have to go to class instead of always bonding and building relationships with Troy. He's been a wonderful resource. So overall, we could not be happier with this arrangement. I want to thank you for working with us in the past, and I have nothing but positive things to say on the impact of our district. So I believe it's met all the qualifications of the grant, mentorship, but you know, sometimes people unfortunately have a negative view of law enforcement, and having Deputy Hansberger and a school resource officer in our school, I believe, has helped lower that negative view of law enforcement officers as well, which I believe is also important. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you may have today, but thank you very much for having me and providing us with that resource in our district.
Thank you, Tony. We appreciate the comments. Questions? Commissioner Joshua?
I appreciate your report. I was asking Under Sheriff Cook before the meeting how that was received and what all the responsibilities were for the officer there at the school. So I appreciate your kind words and your report, and I would move this resolution.
Support. All right, moved by Commissioner Joshua, supported, I believe, by Commissioner Hanson. All those in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your time, sir. Troy, do you want to say anything at all? You don't have to, but.
Commissioners, I'm Troy Hansberger, the Resource Officer, Waverly. I was just here to answer any of your questions as far as maybe what my duties are up there at Waverly Community Schools, what I've done, you know, for the last, 12 months up there, going through, like I said, redoing some of their safety policies, and as the schools are going through their construction, helping to secure those throughout the next few months. So I was here to answer any questions you might have.
Commissioner Holmes?
You're assigned up there, is that switched to other deputies? I'm just wondering, curious about if you're like semi-permanent or what?
At this point, I'm the only officer up there to help build relationships with the kids, having the same officer every day.
Right.
Helps do that. So in most cases, you have the same officer there at least for 2 to 3 years, and then reevaluate, and sometimes bring somebody else in if need be. But in most cases, they try to leave the SRO there to continue building on the relationships, especially with the kids and the parents.
Yeah, real good. Thank you.
All right, I've heard all good things from students I know that go there, so keep up the good work.
Thanks.
All right, thank you. All right, moving on next, reports.
So we have the jail boarding report, the revenue collected from parole violators, diverted felons, the what's called I-DROP program, and the undersheriff would have to give me the acronym again, but, and also the RAP program. Those are just programs that we bring money in from the state for housing. You can tell by the year-to-date build at 533,000 that we're on track for the year, actually better than on track for the year for the budget that we set. And then year-to-date collected actually is very well. Sometimes we have a difficult time getting the collections from the state, no offense, but they're usually delayed. And so we're doing well there. The next report is related to the jail count summary. I don't really have a lot to add to this, but we have a capacity of 374 beds, and you'll see that the average total this year so far is 176. And last is court security. This screens both now the court and this side of the building. So you'll see that the number of people the security has screened is pretty high. And then also what they've confiscated, and the same with juvenile court. If you have questions, that's going to be the sheriff who'll answer them.
Any questions? All right. Oh, Commissioner Holmes?
I just noted the number of knives, mostly, I was wondering if that sign should be larger outside. People walk in not thinking that, whatever, I'm not sure what, totally any knife, or just small ones. Just a suggestion, maybe, to,
There's a
Whatever.
certain size, isn't there? Or,
Yeah, nail clippers aren't gonna be an issue. Basically, it's nice, period.
yeah,
I think a lot of people too probably just forget they're in their pockets and,
Yeah.
oh, wow, they're, forget, unfortunately.
so
All
that's
right.
been very well received, that it was opened back up to the other side of the building as well, so. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Moving on. Central Dispatch update, Kelly.
Good afternoon. We are in the middle of planning our dispatch floor remodel. So what that is going to involve is June 11th is when we have an outside vendor coming in to move all our specialized furniture out of the room, and we will relocate our dispatch center down to the basement, which is our emergency operations center, our EOC, and training room. And we expect to be down there through the beginning of August. So we could move up sooner if all the stuff that needs to be done in the dispatch room gets done sooner, but we didn't want to push it, especially with physical plant doing a lot of the work, and also technology services. So we do have a floor that the tiles lift up and all the cords run under it. Technology services is going to go through all of that and clean that up. We are taking the carpet off the wall. It's been there for 30+ years, so I'm sure there's some really good stuff in that carpet. And paint, kind of just refreshing the room a little bit. So we are in the midst of planning that. The second week of April was National Public Safety Telecommunicator Week. We celebrated with dress-up days, food. We do go on little bowling parties that the Fire Chiefs Association puts on for us, and an award ceremony. And just to name a few awards, last year, we started the Stacy Lynn Sprouse Award, and if you don't know who Stacy is, she was a dispatcher at Eaton County and tragically passed away in a car accident on her way to work. And so her award was created by some friends and family that helped write the criteria, and it includes distinguished character above and beyond in customer service. So that was awarded to telecommunicator Sam Nierink. We have Distinguished Character Award went to Supervisor Sandra Yarger. Above and Beyond went to telecommunicator Nolan Brown. Customer Service Award went to telecommunicator Kaylee Cavender. Team Award, we honored our efforts for the MSU active shooter, so it was called Spartan Strong. We celebrated telecommunicator Cassidy Kelly's 5 years, CPR saves, a Stork Award that was given to telecommunicator March for helping deliver a baby, a life-saving award. It is for the car that went into the pond in front of auto owners, I always mix up auto owners and Farm Bureau, sorry. And our dispatchers gave her instructions on how to get out of the vehicle before it went under. And then we also had overachiever awards, and then we have a new thing that's called the 3-Second Club, and it's for telecommunicators who yearly average 3 seconds of answering the phone. I hosted a virtual rave panic button roadmap meeting with countywide school officials and first responders. Supervisor Thacker is attending the Diamondale Car Show planning meetings that they are putting on leading up to it. And I have created a incident radio communications plan for the event. We had numerous supervisors and telecommunicators that participated in the night scenarios with the Mid-Michigan Police Academy at the Lansing Community College. And then I did have 2 telecommunicators that were asked to join at the Junior Achievement Girls Dream Fair, which was held at the Lansing Community College West Campus. And this job fair allows young women to learn about a wide range of careers, including those in the STEM field. So they really enjoyed it. And on my report, there's lots of pictures from Telecommunicator Week, and their theme was the Golden Girls and Guys. So the Golden Girls song played lots that week. And that is all I have.
All right, thank you, Kelly. Any questions for Kelly? All right, thank you very much for the report.
And I have a resolution.
All right,
So the resolution to approve amendment to the Eaton County 911 plan. So this is not opening the Eaton County 911 plan. If we were to open the Eaton County 911 plan, it is a very long, drawn-out process, but this is just administrative findings. So a few things that needed to be cleaned up, and it is, we have to identify the list of PSAPs, public agencies, dispatch, and dispatch methods. And as some new EMS contracts were initiated by different townships, villages, and cities, and they decided to go with different EMS services. I found a few changes that were overdue that needed to be changed, and then some that were in the present. So some notable changes include the omission of Potterville Fire. So a few years ago, there was Potterville Fire. They have since dissolved. Life Care EMS did respond into Bellevue, and they are now fully contracted with Eaton Area EMS for that. And then Bellevue Medical First Responders. The Bellevue Medical First Responders used to be their own entity, separate from Bellevue Fire, and that agency is no longer. And we are now dispatching direct for Nashville EMS and Portland EMS. So Nashville EMS is going to be a ALS, which is Advanced Life Support Unit in Vermontville Township. And then Portland EMS is responding as Sunfield, into Sunfield Township and Village as their primary EMS agency now.
question. How's that going? I know it started April 1st for the, for Portland into Sunfield,
Yeah.
Sunfield Township. Any problems that we?
No, it's actually pretty seamless. So the important thing is that EMS calls in Eaton County. My dispatch center has to take those because we are under a different tri-county med control than Ionia County. So for those EMS calls, we have to take those. We take them, we dispatch them, and Portland's doing a great job of notifying both Eaton County and Ionia County if they're in or out of service. So everything seems to be going well. You always run into a few mistakes here and there, but they're fixed pretty quickly, and you just need to communicate. So overall, it's going well. We're not having any issues.
Good. I heard a dispatch the other day, listening to the scanner, for Portland ALS into, I think it was Sunfield Township or somewhere, and it was quick. They dispatched, and it was like not even a couple seconds they were responding, so that's good.
And a lot of times, my dispatchers, while they're on the phone, they can dispatch it and go right back to instructions, and sometimes the caller doesn't even know they've left to go talk to the EMS agency, so.
Okay, so back to your resolution. Any questions for Kelly on this, Commissioner Josha?
I'm going to move the resolution, but I want to make sure that we can do this without opening up that entire agreement. That is possible.
Yes, just so you know, I did contact the state 911 administrator, Ms. Joni Harvey, and sent her what I was looking at and what needed to be changed, and I wanted to ensure that it would be fitting under administrative findings, and she indeed said that is the way to go, and I just have to pass on the resolution to her once it's approved.
Kelly, thank you.
Okay, so that was a motion by you, Commissioner Josha? All right. Support by Commissioner Mudry. If no other questions, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? All right, motion carries.
Thank you,
Thanks,
appreciate it.
Kelly. All right, moving on next, emergency management update.
Good afternoon, everybody. Interesting month, a lot of activity, especially in the last few days. Have you just been watching the news the last few days? About 5 years worth of discussions and 6 months of pretty intense focused planning brought the Michigan Mortuary Response Team here into the county. We were at the fairgrounds, did a lot of work with the fairgrounds and the fair board to bring them in contractually, logistically, so on and so forth. And exercise play really started last Friday, continued into Monday, Tuesday, and then the full day where we had probably about 200 to 300 participants on the fairgrounds yesterday participating in the exercise, actually walking through all of our different steps when it comes to something happening in terms of a mass fatality occurring in a jurisdiction. Our scenario was a plane crash. We were working on and practicing on removing, remains from out in a field setting into a disaster portable morgue unit, putting remains through different aspects like forensic anthropology, local forensic pathology, x-ray, so on and so forth. All these different stations to try, the end goal is to identify these remains and get these remains back to loved ones. So again, been a very interesting few days. We just wrapped up earlier this afternoon. Still have a small piece tomorrow as we are also testing the movement of assets back to the warehouse. But overall, successful exercise. Certainly not perfect. We have gaps, we know that, and we always are going to work towards closing those gaps. We'll probably include some more pictures and things like that for our report next month that we took, and have some more information for you there, especially as we move through the after-action process. At one point last month, I think there was a 24-hour period where, in the morning we were getting active shooter briefings from different stakeholders. In the afternoon, we dealt with the tornado warning. The following morning at 8 a.m., we were getting a briefing on highly pathogenic avian influenza and how emergency management might have to provide logistical support to health departments and our agricultural partners. So the hazards continue to evolve. They continue to be there. I certainly think there could be future discussions about capacity building within our office, but we'll, focus that conversation on a different day. Which leads me to kind of my next thing. So one project that we've been working on for quite a few months, and Ella has done a lot of legwork on, our emergency management specialist in the background, has been what we call a hazard identification and risk assessment. So we've actually closely analyzed 16 specific hazards that could reasonably affect us here in Eaton County, natural, technological, and human-caused hazards. Doing a deeper dive on them in terms of what is our risk to these hazards, what is our vulnerabilities to these hazards, and if they happen, what are the consequences to them? Consequences being things like consequences to first responders, consequence in terms of public confidence to response, that kind of thing. We roped in a lot of different subject matter experts on our analysis of these, and we're really close to rolling out our final product. The HIRA, the Hazard Identification and Risk Assessment, it's the EMAP piece that I talk about frequently, the Emergency Management Accreditation Program that we're looking to achieve sometime in the future. Everything is driven by this HIRA. So we wanted to make a quality product that was public-facing, and rather than put it in a large document that probably nobody will ever read, we wanted to do an interactive, web-based program through ArcGIS Hub, so we actually work with technology services a little bit. So we are so close to rolling that out, we actually plan on bringing it to an executive team meeting at some point in the very near future within the next month to kind of show it off a little bit and then do a little bit of a know your risk kind of PR campaign behind it. So that way people can, again, get a better understanding of the hazards that may reasonably likely to affect them here in the county. So a really cool piece, and again, a really big driving piece for that accreditation that we look to achieve in the future. So really excited about that kind of web-based, public-facing program. You see some other things in there, some trainings that Ella and I completed. We did have a tornado warning last month, no tornado touchdown. We just got word from the Weather Service, a little bit of lead time saying, hey, we're seeing some weird rotation in the atmosphere. We are going to issue this. Be ready. So that certainly kicks off a lot of different public messaging and alerts and warnings and notifications. Thankfully, our assumption is that a lot of people paid attention to our severe weather statewide tornado drill next month. So ideally, they had their plan. They knew where to go. They have multiple ways to receive alerts, warnings, and notifications. So we, again, did a lot of public messaging around that beforehand, during, and even after. Just a couple other things left to touch on. I do get to talk about myself here for a second. I was awarded a 40 under 40, the inaugural 40 under 40 award from the International Association of Emergency Managers. They had never done this before, and they announced about a month ago that this was something that they were going to do. Not totally sure who put my name in the hat, but really, really cool to be on that 40 under 40 list with a lot of people that I consider as heavy hitters in my field. So really excited to be included amongst them. I think that's a pretty high honor so far, and have had a lot of congratulations, not just locally, regionally around the state, nationally. So again, very excited and happy to have received that. Lastly, you hear me boast all the time, especially around this year, about our internship program and how proud I am of how we've built that and what we get to put together in terms of kind of a curriculum, if you will, for the intern that we select. So yesterday was day one for Mitchell Carlson from Michigan State University. Threw him right into the fire with our big exercise that we held over at the fairgrounds. But I'm going to have Mitchell come and just introduce himself real fast for you, kind of give him a quick run, or give you a quick rundown of who he is, what he does, and again, we'll talk a little bit more about him in just a second. But Mitchell.
Hello, Commissioners. My name is Mitchell Carlson. As Ryan said, I just finished my sophomore year up at Michigan State. I'm a social work student, and I am the emergency management intern for the summer. Not a whole lot else to say, but I'm excited to see where this takes me.
Well, congratulations and welcome.
Thank you.
Sure, Ryan, I'll keep you busy.
We got the first 4 weeks, we're kind of running pretty fast, which is exciting. But we have a lot of activities planned throughout the summer, again, just to kind of showcase what emergency management is, if it's something that's interesting to him. I have no doubt that in his role with social work, it's certainly something that he'll probably encounter in one way, shape, or form throughout the rest of his career. But really excited to have Mitchell over the course of the next 3 to 4 months and working with him and ultimately seeing where he goes with his future. That's all that I have to report.
All right, well, congratulations on all your accomplishments and keep up the good work. Questions for Ryan? All right, thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, everyone. Yep.
All right, moving on. Next, looks like we have the Community Corrections Advisory Board appointment, probate court.
Yes, as you know, we have a new judge, Amanda Pollard, on probate court. It is a required position. You can get up, Melanie, if you want. It's a required position to fill with the probate judge, so we're just asking public safety to make the recommendation to the full board.
Okay. Motion.
Yes.
Recommendation to
Motion, Commissioner Drosha. Support, Commissioner Holmes. All right, any other questions? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. All right. All right, moving on. Any miscellaneous items?
No, sir.
All right, last limited public comment. Any limited public comment in the audience? Seeing none, we will adjourn until Thursday, June 6th. Have a good night.